and all, and welcome to tonight's episode of Unpopular Review, reviewing all things NXT Tuesday style. You got myself, the Wrestling Doll, tonight being your host. Unfortunately, Ron is not here for the night, but I am not alone. I am joined with the founder, co-creator, the head of the table, the tribal chief of the Unpopular Review brand, who may or may not be joining me unless I'm doing it by my damn self.
You're definitely not doing it by yourself. I would never let you do this by yourself. I am here to talk some NXT. Why? Because Ron is unable to make it. So they said, hey, best host, step up and host. And I'm here with you, the original duo, me and you.
Yes, that is true. We are happy to have you here. Even though Ron likes to say some things that say otherwise.
It sounds like you're happy to see the executive consultant.
I have my ways of showing my happiness.
Yeah, okay. Fake it till you make it. That's fine. So, this for the record is probably not the first woman who's ever faked it for me. But let's go ahead and talk about some NXT. What's going on, George, Samuel, Lewis? I know y'all happy to see me. And I am actually happy to review this show for one reason only. There was somebody on it that I absolutely admire. And I can't wait till we talk about her match. Even though I was a little disappointed, but we can't wait till we talk about her match.
I already know exactly who you're talking about, and you didn't even have to say her name. None of the people who draw the most fans are present. Nice to see you, Jill. May we ask who you're talking about besides the one who got signed to SmackDown, so we won't be seeing him on Tuesdays anymore?
That's a good question. Oh, Braun. He's a Braun Breaker fan, right? This guy? Oh, Braun. He's a Braun Breaker fan, right? This guy?
That's the number one Braun Breaker fan in this chat. So, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Delusional and stupid. Listen, it's about time that Braun Breaker got moved up. So if he's going to be a face for the time being, then they'll figure what to do with him when he's up there.
Okay.
But anyways, tonight was an interesting episode of NXT. We got started out with Dragunov wasting no time calling out him, that is Carmelo Hayes, calling him a terrible person for what he's doing to Melo. Melo comes out all white, acting like he's all holier than thou with his security entourage, basically. And that he says that Dragunov is mad because he got used to making tricked out things. Whatever you like to say, Melo, whatever you like to say, says for Dragunov to get everything in order with Ava and a contract, and that maybe he'll consider talking with the NXT champion, even though some of your security got decked by the madman. You might give him a chance to talk to you. How interesting, considering the fact that he's champion and you are not. Big words for someone who wants to have a security to keep Dragunov away. And half of them got decked by him. So that's very fun. That's a very good look for you, Melo.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Why are you giving Carmelo Hayes so much hate? I don't understand it.
Because he's a heel and that's our job. We're supposed to hate on the bad guys. He's a good face.
Where's he a heel at? Where's he a heel at? How's he a heel?
He was a heel in the beginning. Then he became a face because the people liked him. And now he's a heel again.
Why don't people like him? What did he do different?
He beat up Mel. He did a trick. We were waiting for it. We just didn't know when. And we didn't want it to happen when it did. But it did.
Don't you think Trick kind of deserved it, though?
No. It is not Trick's fault that the people liked him more than Melo over time.
Well, it's okay. So, all right. So when you have a friend, right, and you are him, and Melo is him, right? He's that guy. He's that dude. And Trick kind of like overshadow him. He's not being a good friend. You know what I'm saying? So all Melo did was remind him of what his place was. I don't see that as a bad thing. Some people need to be reminded of that. We all know that we watch NXT for Carmelo Hayes outside Jakara Jackson.
Well, besides the fact that you said that, I was about to say that Melo makes a better heel than he's a good face, but he makes a better heel. But that's besides the point on that. What, I can't give the man a compliment for how he is as a heel?
He's not a bad guy. He's, if anything, Trick's the heel, right?
No,
Trick's
he's
the
not.
bad guy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Did you not? Look, Melo was that dude. All eyes on Melo. Melo's gonna be that next big thing. He's a lot of people's favorite, and then Trick had to come out there and act like he's all that. Why? You're a B+ player. You're a side dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he's probably screwing some woman's who's married to somebody, because that's what he is. He's a side piece. So why is he all of a sudden trying to act like a main player? I don't understand. I got problems with this. And I have a problem with you, wrestling. Yes, I do. I have a problem with you, wrestling doll, because you're sitting here defending this guy and making Melo seem like the bad guy when really Melo was a victim. And I think that's really harsh of you. I'm writing that down.
You can write down whatever the hell you want. All I can say is Trick's been over since his Iron Survivor match where he miraculously beat everybody in that ring to be the one to have that contendership for the title. But anyways.
Kind of ridiculous.
It can be as bad as ridiculous as it wants, but it got people's eyes on Trick even more. But after that, we had our first match of the night, which was Kelani Jordan versus Kiana James with her new paid friend in Izzi Dame, aka somebody that they had to use because they can't keep all the girls in the back anymore, because if they do that, then you're just going to let them go for not being used, like some people that we've seen get called in from auditions and stuff to be in the back, only to not be used point blank period at all. Match was fine. It basically ended the same way that I knew it was going to. Izzi was going to interfere. What I did not expect for her was to pull Kelani Jordan so hard onto that apron that it looked like she broke her neck. So hopefully Kelani is fine. But Kiana does get her with the 401k. She hits her with the deal breaker knee strike for the win. Is anybody surprised? Not really. I just don't care for Kiana James. Even if she is that mini character, I've never been into her as far as like character-wise. In-ring wise, yes. Character-wise, no. I don't like people who use men or women for the sake of trying to buy up some property because they can't find some damn property somewhere else that isn't already occupied by a school or by a family business.
So I wrote down a note about you, Dahlia. You want to hear it?
You can say whatever the hell you want. I don't give a damn.
It says, I never knew Barbara was such a supreme hater. I always knew you were a hater. I never knew you were a supreme hater. And now you're talking about how you don't like her. And I love her. She's great.
Kiana James. In-ring wise, I'm fine with her in-ring work. I just don't like her character. I don't have to like the woman.
Great. Kiana is great.
Her job is for me to not like her. So that means she's doing her damn job. My job is to root for the faces 95% of the time with the occasional heel. Your job is to root for all the damn heels.
I don't root for heels. I root for people who I identify with. And Kiana James, I feel her. And I just don't understand why you're not giving her the credit she deserves, because she goes out there and she tries to improve that woman's locker room in NXT. And she is like, she's the measuring stick of how you should be now that Tiffany Stratton's gone. And you're not giving her that credit. And I want to know why.
Because I don't like her character. I can say whatever the hell I want about Kiana James. I can dislike somebody's character, but I can respect their in-ring work. And I respect Kiana James. It doesn't surprise me that you're not a fan of her. You're a hater too, George.
This Chris guy. Are you kidding?
This is, as Ron calls, Good Chris, because it's not you.
Oh, that's why he calls him Good Chris?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, he shouldn't even have my name. All right, especially making comments like he just made. EC with his sarcastic stop. Go ahead.
That's just his normal voice. What do you mean?
Go ahead. It's go. What else? What's going on? What else we got?
Well, we've got a segment with Roxanne, Perez, continuing her anger of everybody getting random title shots and her not getting her title shot for the 50th millionth time, which I get. You mad, you angry, but girl, give someone else a chance to fight for that belt besides you. We all know eventually you're going to be one of the ones to take that belt off of her until Cora Jade comes back from recovery. But in the meantime, as that's happening in the locker room, your favorite woman in the NXT locker room, Jakara Jackson, comes out and says that Lash was in the right place at the right time, which, as I said last week, Roxanne, you had a chance to come out to fight Lyra for the title, but you didn't. Lash took that chance. If you wanted a chance, you should have ran out there and took that chance before Lash did, but you didn't. So then they start fighting. And then the girls in the locker room have to pull them apart. And as Jakara says, she didn't have to get ready because she stays ready.
And she looks ready all the time for me to get on one knee and marry her. You know, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because this is your show. So I'm just going to still. How do you feel about Jakara Jackson?
As far as character or in-ring work?
As your boy's future wife.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I like Jakara Jackson more than Kiana James.
Okay, I can accept that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'll take
her character has personality. I'm actually entertained when I'm watching Jakara Jackson. When I watch Kiana James, I feel like I'm watching an episode of As the World Turns or Days of Our Lives or
As the World Turns,
Young and the Restless.
As the World Turns went off there in 2010. Days of Our Lives exclusive to Peacock. Is this one of your fans? This guy here, because he's speaking some slander. I'm about to block him.
He's a fan of this show, but listen.
Yeah, he can't be talking like that. Exactly, Jeff. Please, somebody needs to look him up.
Technically, she did tap her out with her new finisher because she does use pop rocks, but now it doesn't give her any victories anymore. So now she's getting
off. Is this a show that takes away points?
Ron does that. I don't do that. Ron does that.
I've been hearing through the grapevine that one of these shows does points, and I think I was told it was NXT. But you saying it was Ron does it? Okay, Ron's not here, so I'm gonna do that. You what? Does this work? 1,000,000 points. Take it off.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I was about to say that yes, because of how Roxanne's acting now, they're gonna give her more W's. I was not going to say I didn't expect it because of how she's been acting. But all I'm saying is now the Pop Rocks is becoming her finisher that doesn't get her the victories anymore. Now she's doing a crossface.
Get better glasses.
So I don't know what they're going to call that move now, but all I know is that's what she's doing now. It's not bad, but hey, whatever they want to do with her, they can do whatever the hell they want with her. To make her that angry, bitter woman that's upset that she's not getting title opportunities that other people are. Girl, like I said, you can have a chance to go after her, but let other people fight her too. You just got to climb your way back up again, sweetie.
But if I remember correctly, she never lost the NXT Women's Championship.
I know she never lost it, but hey, they had that match, and things happened. If anybody has a problem with that, go talk it up with HBK.
I thought they had a commissioner now.
They have a general manager in Ava Rain, so you can talk to her too, and then she can talk to HBK. That's a good name. I could see that. I respect that, Jeffrey.
Chris, you leave Dahlia Dark wrestling doll. I'm not with her. We're in two separate
locations.
He's
trying to say that you leave me alone. Listen, we're like
she's
Byron
bullying
Saxton.
me.
Well, listen, we're like Byron Saxton and Corey Graves.
No, I'd rather be Corey Graves than Byron Saxton any day.
You are Corey Graves in this scenario. You're Corey Graves. You're the color commentator. I'm Byron Saxton in this case. That's how our dynamic works. You said you'd rather be Corey Graves, so you are.
Okay, that's fine.
Or would you rather be Wade Barrett and Ivy Michael Cole?
I can be Wade. I like Wade. But I like Corey Graves too. No, that works.
I was about to say, which one would you prefer to be, Wade Barrett or Corey Graves?
I think both. I don't think there's a bad commentator in WWE right now.
Well, I'm not going to disagree on that because there really isn't right now.
Yeah, not one. I enjoyed all of their work equally. I don't like Corey Graves so much as a play-by-play guy, but it's fine.
Well, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, they should never let Kevin Patrick go.
Bullying each other. That's just how we show our love for each other.
I feel like Barbara bullies me a lot, though. I do feel bullied by her.
Anyways.
I don't bully anyone. I'm a sweetheart.
Yes, you're America's sweetheart. Anyways, we had the OC go against Edris, Enofé, and Malik Blade, a.k.a. the ones that they're turning into jobbers, which saddens me to 1,000,001 pieces because I like them as a tag team and I hate seeing them lose consistently over and over again.
But they always look good in their loss and they make the other team look good, and that's what they're used for. And I feel like they're going to be rewarded for that. OC just is a great shot in the arm for them. I am so happy they're NXT in that division. I just feel like they're going to do wonders for that division, and I think it's going to help them out in the long run. This is just one of the smartest moves I've ever seen all year. It's great.
It
great
is
idea.
one of the smarter moves considering the last time that they were actually utilized has been over a year. And then after that time, AJ decided, I don't need none of y'all anymore, so y'all can get the hell out of here.
He finally realized they're boring. AJ, good job.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And then after that match happens with the OC picking up the W.
I would never say shut up, Talia. Even though when she's disrespecting so many wrestlers. Yeah. I like the Rock's locks. I'm shocked that Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears returning to WWE. Corey is doing the heel work. Spelled heel wrong. Appreciate it, Chris Leclerc. Hi there, guys. I'm back in. Don't be surprised if Mia Yim makes a return to NXT. I don't see it happening, George, and let me tell you why. If you look at the SmackDown Women's roster, it's kind of thin, especially on the babyface side, and they kind of need her to help out in that area. So she shouldn't be going back to NXT anytime soon. They have a lot of wrestlers in NXT, male and women. They don't really need another woman to go down there.
Even despite all the people they called up to the main roster, they still have a lot in NXT.
They have a lot. Remember this. Every time you see Chase U's been out for like 2 years now or so. Everybody in Chase U is a wrestler. Waiting to get called. It's just like back in the day. You all help me out here because I'm drawing a blank. But there was a guy who used to wrestle down there and had like a party line, and some people were in it. Braun Strowman, I believe, was one of the wrestlers in it. Elias was one of the wrestlers. I believe Becky Lynch was one of the wrestlers in it.
Adam Rose?
Yes, Adam Rose. Adam Rose used to have a party line, and people who was in the party line were always wrestlers. Just like the security officers, the ones that you saw tonight, wrestlers. And everybody in Chase U is a wrestler. Just how it is.
That is fair. And speaking of Chase U, their music does come out, and they appear in the crowd to call out the OC for blindsiding them last week. And then before they leave, Nathan Frazier and Axiom come out to say that they want to get their hands on the OC. And Nathan says that when the LWO attacks you, at least they do it to your face. And then out comes the LWO of Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro from the ropes to jump to the OC to send them packing. Meanwhile, the Wolf Dogs show up with shades on in the arena, as the three teams are staring them down. Which I think either a triple threat contendership for the belts or a fatal four-way could be an interesting way to go for Roadblock.
I would go for a fatal four-way. And I didn't know NXT Roadblocks is next week. That's good. Looking forward to that. I forgot Roadblock is the pay-per-view they tried. Yeah, first time Roadblock came out, I believe it happened in December, but Roadblock is the pay-per-view they try to have also in between WrestleMania, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Well, WrestleMania coming soon, or in this case, Stand and Deliver for NXT, which I'll be there, ladies and gentlemen, for Stand and Deliver. I'm actually going to a Stand and Deliver. Last year, I didn't even want to watch it. But this year, I'm interested in going, and I can't wait to go. I'm going to have a good time going. Yeah, Fatal 4-Way is what I will go with.
That's fair. I mean, the last pay-per-view they had with the Fatal 4 for the belts was a pretty damn good one, so I will not disagree on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, I can be nice and agree with you from time to time.
Yeah, I think you give about one good thing you say to me every 5 months.
And you'll take what you can get.
I don't have a choice.
Nope. Anyways, we're at the 20-minute mark, so let me see. Well, we don't have one, so I was going to... Oh, perfect.
Play any of the last three.
Well, I was going to say maybe we should take a quick commercial break and then
go ahead.
Come right
play
back.
Any of the last three video clips.
All right, so we will be taking a quick little commercial break. All right, you're watching. Pardon me, but it looks like I couldn't see one. I don't see it on my end, so it might be just
I'll take a look.
end.
I'll do it. Just
right.
Stay with us.
Sorry for that little brief technical thing, but we'll be right back after these quick commercial messages.
Now before The Rock drops some gospel on you.
What is Cody's story? What is Cody's story? Because his story went from winning the belt that his daddy couldn't, doing it for his family, then doing it for himself, then being hell-bent on taking down Roman Reigns. Which one of these is the story?
Scott, that's a Versace. And the less fabric on a Versace, the more expensive it is. That's not $799. That's probably $27.99 as in $2,799.
Finally, your life has meaning.
They're in Salt Lake. He told the truth.
Finally, you and your 50 wives.
They're in Salt Lake. He told the truth.
Your 600 inbred grandchildren one day.
They're in Salt Lake. Okay? I know what you mean, Matt.
Probably right.
But he told the truth.
There goes our Utah audience.
Don't care.
You shut your mouth, fatty. The Rock will come out there and slap the herpes off your lips.
SmackDown each and every single Saturday with Vic and Dice normally, sometimes Jeff, sometimes myself. But you're watching NXT. I am filling in for Bad Guy Jack. I can't yell that loud, but I'm filling in for Bad Guy Jack. I don't have a beard that long, but I'm filling in for Bad Guy Jack, and I'm actually over 6 feet. That is Dahlia Dark, the wrestling doll. We're talking some NXT. More importantly, we're talking Jakara Jackson. What else we got going on?
Yes, we did. We'll talk some more about Jakara Jackson and Roxanne Perez's match again. But before that, we had Ava on the phone backstage talking to someone addressed in the tag team situation. So possibly we will get that fatal 4-way for Roadblock. And then we have Oba Femi come in to ask her about his next victim, as he calls it. And she says many people are lining up and she'll let him know who will be his next one that's picked off the crop. With Ilya coming in and says, "Let's talk," and the door closes. So we'll see what happens for Roadblock, which should be pretty damn interesting.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic show. I can't wait. Are you even going to try to go?
To Roadblock?
Yeah.
Well, if they have it in town, I just might.
Well, isn't it next Tuesday?
Well, I'll give it a try. I'll send the usual thing and see what I can do about going.
Let me know, because I have to take your place. Let's see. Charmaine says, hello. What's going on, Charmaine? Hi, Wrestling Doll. Ava was on fire on NXT GM tonight. Wrestling Doll.
She is doing a great job. She's definitely been making some history, especially being the youngest GM in WWE history. And I don't really think they're going to have anybody else doing that. So she's definitely making the history books. So hopefully y'all can stop giving her a damn hard time for things that aren't her damn fault or things that aren't in her control.
Those are Cody Crybabies.
She deactivated her social media.
It's because of Cody Crybabies. Are you a Cody Crybaby?
In the sense that I would like him to get a title shot. Sure, you could call that, but would I threaten Ava, the Rock's daughter, for something that is not her fault?
You rather see Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania over The Rock and Roman Reigns?
Yes. If it was 2-3 years ago, I would have been more interested. Now, with the way they built up Cody, I don't care to see it.
Do you like chicken nuggets?
Yes.
I can tell.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about it again. We had Roxanne Perez go against Jakara Jackson after their little fight they had last week. And they went the back and forth. The Lash Legend does hold Jakara's hand so she can do the pop rocks on the girl, but the ref sees. So then the ref tells Lash, you got to get the hell out of here. And match was fine. It was basically I felt like I was watching a fight off the Bad Girls Club or an episode of The Real World, especially with the slap fight that was happening. And then she gets put into a crossface submission, or as Jeffrey calls it, the Rocks Lock, which if they don't see this and call it that, I don't know what they're going to call it, but
Hashtag it. Hashtag it.
Hashtag the Rocks Lock. What are we supposed to do with the Nuggets?
Exactly. I'm going to be on this for a while. I'm sorry. And we're doing an NXT show, but I'm going to be on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. We had one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time coming. And I'm going, right? And y'all flush it down the toilet. These people are not, most of them not even going to be there. They flush it down the toilet because they grab chicken nuggets and they stick it up their ass and they want some fucking Cody Rhodes versus. I'm hot. I'm mad. I'm sorry, Dahlia. Go ahead.
No, you're not sorry when it comes to that. All I'm saying, if it were 2-3 years ago, people would have been invested. That's all I'm saying.
Rock.
They were talking about it 2 to 3 years ago.
Reigns, and you put some skinny little twig. No, Cody doesn't have a story. No one cares about his freaking story.
I care about his story.
What are the teas of OBA and Dragunov?
We might have a match between them one day. Might not be even for a title. Well, not for the North American title, at least, but maybe for the NXT title one day. Just not now.
I'm trying not to.
Listen, I'm not going to get stressed out about this because I already get stressed out about it.
Oh, my God.
We're talking about this like 2-3 years ago, maybe even 4. Everybody wanted that to happen then.
Oh my God. Okay. Roxanne, crossface. You know, I wish you put the crossface on a chicken nugget, but Roxanne did a crossface. That's where we're at right now. I like to see
That's
Roxanne.
your new submission. That's your submission.
It works, and I like the name, so please hashtag it. Not to
listen. If a face gets made or something gets said on this show, there is a 99% chance that they get made into a sped up clip or a GIF or a meme or anything to get put up on social media.
Something's going to happen in the Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns match. Yeah, somebody's going to win the match. I'm going to be there. I swear. If Cody's in that match and we have Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, I'm throwing a chicken nugget at Cody. And then I'll throw a chicken nugget at every single. Look, and it won't be the first fight in Lincoln Financial. Let me tell you something right now. I will throw a chicken nugget at every one of those Cody crybabies, all those little bitches in that damn place. All of them. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Hey, Barb, did you see the movie The Sitter?
No. I don't even know what that is.
It's starring Jonah Hill, but there's a line in the movie that is great. It's where's that? Like a little bit. I love that line. Like a little bit. I love that line. Like a little bit. I don't know if you heard it. Like a little bit. But I'll do it one more time. Like a little bit. That's how I feel about the Cody Rhodes crybabies out there, man. All of them.
Listen, when WrestleMania is over, we won't be dealing with this no more.
Yeah, all of them are. Like a little bit. I'm done. I'm through.
George, all I know is he's not going to do it, but I will. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll be damned if I wear that. First of all, I hear you can get a Cody Rhodes shirt by buying a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Why would I just stop? Just stop. I'm through.
You're gonna stress. You're stressing him out like if he were Dan on an AEW episode.
Sounds like a chicken. Hey, what do we do with the Nuggets?
I don't know, as Dice fan. Anyways, Thea Hale is backstage with Jasmine Nix, formerly known as Jade Gentile. That's how I'm going to say it, because if I say the other way, it sounds very inappropriate, which is why they changed her name. And with JC Jane. And they say that the men should be chasing them. Thea Hale sounds like Riley wanted to date the happily bubbly girl she was before she met JC. And then Fallon Henley gets called a loser. And then they also called the early version of Thea Hale a loser. And then Kiana and Izzi walk up to congratulate JC on the calendar. And then everybody minus Thea walks off, which was very interesting, to say the least. So it might tease a split between those two. Jasmine might be taken in as JC's new protege, which I don't know what Ron would say if he were here about the situation, other than calling Thea Hale a crybaby, a moaning, groaner, bitching, complainer, a bad friend, etc., which she's just stating her opinion. That's all I'm going to say.
JC Jane is like Ron's favorite. I mean, first of all, Ron, you know, if you're watching this back, let me tell you, it's terrible that you hijack a whole show to talk about this one woman, right? JC Jane's okay, but she's not serious. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it was, you know, maybe, I don't know, Jakara Jackson. But anyway, so Thea Hale, though, I've always been impressed by Thea Hale. One, because I think she's way ahead of her age. You know, the fact she's as young as she is and is as capable as she is, I think is phenomenal. I think that woman has a lot of future in her. I'm not saying she's Tiffany Stratton, but she's still very, very good. And I'm invested in anything that she does.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Thank you.
Yes, we can agree on some things. So
Now, if only you can agree that Cody Rhodes doesn't need to be the main event of WrestleMania, it will be even better.
I will never agree to that until WrestleMania is over. Anyways, after a while, we have Luca Crusifino taking on Dijak. He tried to stop him last week from holding Joe Gacy hostage after he said that that's not legal, that your rules are not the rules of the law. Dijak had told him to take a hike and to go yourself. And Luca sends Dijak over the announce table with a sliding kick under the ropes, and they have a match in the ring. But Joe Gacy does come out in a straitjacket, which Dijak can't believe. And as it goes on, we have the D'Angelo family watching the match, and Tony D tells Dex to go bring him to me, meaning Crusifino, since he did blast Dijak with the crowbar to send him from the ring, which, as we all know, they like using crowbars as their weapon of choice. Dijak does get the upper hand on Crusifino for the most part. And in the end, he beats him with Feast Your Eyes for the victory.
How did he used to do Feast Your Eyes? Do you remember?
No.
Something like Feast. Oh, God. I was going to say, tell me in the chat, but of course, I can't show me in the chat. But he used to do it really nicely. Hey, I'm a Dijak fan. I've been a Dijak fan. I think he's a phenomenal talent, and he's just been killing it over NXT lately. I've also been a fan of Joe Gacy. I'm not exactly sure how well he'll translate to the main roster because I don't think his in-ring skills are quite there yet. But I do believe he does really good character work, so it should work. But the story about this is Dijak, and once again, I just think since he's been back in NXT, he's been doing very, very well. I mean,
it's been a boost in his career, to say the least. Especially, what was the last thing that he had going for him in the main roster? T-Bar? Cringing just thinking about it.
I can't understand you cringe. That's how you should feel about Cody Rhodes being the main event. That baseball slide definitely sent him reeling.
Yeah, he definitely got sent reeling. Speaking of someone who got sent reeling, Noam Dar got surprised by Kelly coming in the back while he's choking on his water, and he's claiming he has PTSD from the attack. That he has PTSD from Robert Stone's Little Gremlins, which is a very disrespectful way to talk about someone's children. And she asked him, who do you want to face from the No Quarter Catch crew? Which I will never stop saying. Stupidest name ever. And he says it doesn't matter who faces him. He can take any of them on. Like I said last week, I would love it to be any of them. Except Damon Kemp because he gets on my everlasting nerves. But I think of all of them, I think Charlie Jumps would be the one that makes the most sense to take the Heritage Cup away, to be the one to fight him for that cup, and to be the one to take it away from him.
Why would you think somebody's going to take that Heritage Cup championship? He's had it for ever.
Because eventually, at some point, the Chicken Shit champion loses their title.
But he's not a Chicken Shit champion. He defends it a lot. Now, let me ask you this. Do you watch AEW?
From time to time.
Do you know who the FTW champion is?
No, I don't pay attention to it anymore.
Hook. He's practically been like the only FTW champion. I'm exaggerating, but he's been there forever. He's not losing the championship any more than Noam Dar is losing the Heritage Cup championship. It's just, it wouldn't look right on anybody else at this point.
Anyway, so Lyra wishes Shotzi a speedy recovery.
That's what she did wrong. That's when she became a heel.
And that's
a speedy recovery means Shotzi comes back and boards me up and injures somebody else. I don't want to see that fast, sooner or later.
And a title shot when she's healthy, which we don't know if she will get that shot, depending when Shotzi comes back, if Lyra is still the champion. There's a possibility that someone's going to take that belt away from Lyra. I just don't know who.
I think the story of this should be that Shotzi should not return to 2025.
A little harsh there, but anyways, she gets props to Lash Legend for stepping up to taking on the open challenge from last week when Shotzi got injured badly. Then she asked Tatum Paxley to come out since she didn't interfere with the match, and she comes out from the crowd. And that Tatum says she would do anything for Lyra, and that Lyra said she talked to Ava, and that they will be teaming together next week against the Kabuki Warriors for a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship belt.
Oh, shit. Asuka in NXT. Kairi Sane in NXT. That's worth the price of admission alone. Makes me want to think about going.
I mean, you have Asuka, the longest, most dominant, never lost woman to ever hold the NXT championship, which I think some people forgotten over the past year and some change because of one Miss Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I still respect Asuka.
Listen, I prefer Asuka as champion because I respected her even as a face and a heel while holding that belt. But anyways.
Asuka's one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
Yes, she is. So we had Ridge Holland come out, and he asked them to step down from the ring so he can get something off his chest. And he says that when he retaliates, he always takes it too far. He apologized, saying he's sorry. And then, as what AEW does like every few weeks for a surprise, the lights shut down. And the same promo that had been coming out for the past few weeks had popped up on this Titantron. And I was going to say, before it had happened, I was going to say last week and this week, I was going to say that the person that I was thinking they were going to bring in to be that, not Okada, because Okada's been signed somewhere else. I was thinking that the women's champion over in Japan, Julia, who they had their eyes on, would possibly be the one to come over. Maybe not right now, but a little later. And what happens? We get someone attacking Ridge Holland out of nowhere with a chair. And as the lights come on and he pulls off his hood, it is one Ty Dillinger.
10.
Why do you think I'm doing this?
I was about to say I can add, but you just put it at 70. Ty Dillinger is back in NXT. I think it's a smart move for him. You can tell, especially toward the end, he wasn't really happy. AEW, he wasn't doing anything, but I don't know, again, powerbomb. It's good to have a veteran there. I just think this will be a win-win for both parties.
It better. I mean, hopefully they do better with him than he was over in AEW. I mean, what was the last relevant thing he had over there? That storyline he had with the Wardlow and MJF before MJF unofficially became face.
That was the last long-term storyline he had. I've seen him a few times since. Don't remember what it was doing, but yeah, I think it's a good move.
Yeah, that enough said a lot about his run in AEW. But after that, we had a match. Yes, people love their homegrown heroes coming back into the WWE/NXT.
Exactly. I think he can dice. I think that's going to work for him. Like I said, just a really good move for him. He wasn't doing anything else. This was the smartest thing for him. Are we going to hire his wife, Cassie Lee Peyton Royce? I would love to see the Iconics back.
Yes, they were very entertaining, a tag team, and they were one of the only few tag teams out there that weren't just makeshift or random. They actually have a history. They're friends. They've worked together. They came up to the product together. So I would like to see them come in and definitely give something to the product. I mean, besides just being a comedy bit, because they do their best to work together. When the WWE split them up for no reason, it made no sense. And Jeffrey says, isn't she pregnant again? Well, whichever one of them is pregnant, if they are, congratulations to them. And
I think the last person that was supposed to be pregnant was Billie Kay.
Well, if she is, then congrats to her. She can always come back by herself in the meantime. Maybe give something to the women's division in NXT in the meantime, or even go into SmackDown. Hell, that's their little thing on baby faces over there.
Chelsea Green.
Listen, I love me some Chelsea Green.
But she's a heel.
Oh, I know Chelsea Green's a heel. I have my exceptions. Chelsea Green is very entertaining. I became a fan of her indie work.
I can tell you a few of your exceptions would be. One of your exceptions should be your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
No. Hail to the no.
Another one should be Dirty Dom, your next Intercontinental Champion.
Fuck no.
That was kind of harsh.
Listen, Dirty Dom, I cannot stand him, which means he's doing his damn job right as a heel, especially to the point where he can't open his damn mouth in a arena and get a word in edgewise, especially in an Elimination Chamber when he was trying to introduce the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. I'm like, boy, how stupid are you to take that mic away from Mike Rome, to stop him from doing his job, for you to try to do his job, and for you not to get a word in.
Well, first of all, it's because he does a better job than Mike Rome. Second of all,
at least the people let Mike Rome talk.
Second of all, those people in Australia had issues. They were all on drugs of kangaroo meat or something. I don't know what they do, but
so they were on drugs when they were booing Dirty Dom, but they weren't on drugs when they were cheering for Tiffany Stratton, the only heel in that women's elimination chamber match.
Correct, because their drugs aren't potent enough, so it wore off.
You do realize that the women's elimination chamber match was before the Undisputed Tag Team match, right? I'm just saying.
But okay, so after the Tiffany Stratton match, they were so upset that that's when they started taking them drugs. Thank you.
And speaking of that, I'm just going to say we had our little poll in our group chats, and I am your new reigning defending now two-time UPR champion. This one says I should enjoy it while it lasts because he's going to take it away during Revolution, which I will enjoy my reign now while I have it. So at least I have it more than once.
That is this Saturday, so you won't have it long, or Sunday. And nobody likes a bragger. Just want to let you know.
You brag all the time, so what difference does it make if I do it?
I don't brag. It just exudes from my body when I walk into a room.
Speaking of someone who acts like they exude confidence and swagger in a room, we had Lexis King in the ring with Von Wagner, which I'm happy that Von Wagner finally got a W after taking some damn L's over and over and over again to make himself look less like a threat.
You know who needs to take some L's?
Lexis King.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is taking plenty of those. Anyways, so the match went on. It was fine. It was quite interesting. Robert Stone does get on the apron around the end to interfere with Lexis to ensure that basically Von Wagner gets the victory. And he finally does. Mm-hmm. The match wasn't bad. It was kind of what I expected. I expected Vaughn to be overpowering on Lexus. He would try to perform the coronation on Von Wagner. It didn't happen. He did do it just on Robert Stone because after the match was over, he was surprised by that damn roll-up. Tried to go after Wagner, failed. He manages to get a bit of strikes until Stone comes into the ring to try to stop him. And then Stone gets hit with the coronation before he leaves the ring.
Okay, that works. I mean, Lexus King is a king, so he deserves all the royalty he can get.
Well, when you got a big head like that, and you act like the world owes you everything. Sometimes the world's gonna give you what you really are owed, which is a humbling lesson and step down off your pedestal at least 50 steps.
Possibly.
Anyways, after that, we have Lyra and Tatum backstage in the locker room, hyping themselves up for the title match. Jaida Parker comes in saying that she's gonna hurt Gigi Dolin, and that Lyra and Tatum don't got no chance against the Kabuki Warriors. And then Ariana Grace comes in and says that we are role models and that we should use our words, not actions. And then Lyra's like, this is NXT, honey. Fighting is how we show what we are and what we do around here. So if you don't like that, then why are you here? Basically.
That's exactly how she should have worded it.
Yeah, maybe. So before the match happens, Dijak is arguing with Ava, with Gacy watching from afar, and he snuck up on Dijak and he said, you may be done with me. I ain't done with you. So this is what happens when you go after crazy people. Because they ain't never gonna stop. You can't mess with the crazy. You can't play with the crazy because the crazy is going to mess you up tenfold and it's going to play you like a damn fiddle.
The crazies.
Basically.
Okay. I can't disagree with that.
So Jaida Parker comes out with Out the Mud with their GTA theme and their Titantron and so on and so forth. She trash talks Gigi. Gigi gets slapped by her, but then she lands on top of the hip toss, gets a basement drop kick in with Jaida tied up in the ropes.
You got all the moves.
Well, I do keep track and I do take some stuff in. And as the match keeps going, Ariana stumbles out into the ring while Gigi lands a drop kick clothesline combo on Parker. And they keep going at it and punching each other. But Ariana's like, please stop. Just please stop. We're role models. Just stop. And she's getting on the ring apron and she's grabbing Gigi's arm when she's going for a punch. She gets headbutted by Gigi. Falls on the floor. Jaida takes advantage of that and hits her with the damn forearm for the win. That is supposedly an upset. But with the way that Gigi's been getting booked at the end of the JC Jane feud, that woman's turned into an enhancement talent. And that's me being
because
nice
she's not where she needs to be, and she's been with the company for a while. She's kind of over, yet her wrestling skills still are lacking a little bit.
She has better wrestling skills than promo skills, in my opinion. But that's besides the point.
I can see that argument. But if that's the case, then once again, that proves why they let her be enhancement talent now.
I know. Just like when they split her up, why I always said that JC Jane was more the promo, why she was more the talker, why she was more the one that would do the speaking for Toxic Attraction most of the time. Better promo skills versus in-ring work.
I can't disagree with that either. You're making good points there now. You know, even though you want to nod your Tribal Chief and you like chicken nuggets.
I like chicken nuggets. I like chicken tenders. I like chicken strips. I like all kinds of chicken. So be it. So sue me. So basically, we get announced for Roadblock, Joe Gacy versus Dijak in an Asylum match. So that should be interesting.
That should be brutal. Hopefully, you get to go.
That would be quite an entertaining match. And so, for our final match of the night, we have our
One match to go.
Yes, we have our Heritage Cup Championship match. And all 4 members of the No Quarter Catch crew come out. And who steps up to get into that ring because of their little rule that they have? Charlie Dempsey. And as the match goes on, Dar trips Dempsey off the ropes for 1 count. Dempsey gets a pin-off attempt with the bridge. Oro rushes to the ring right off the bat, but it does not matter because at the 1 round, we got Dempsey 1, Noam Dar 0. And as it keeps going, it keeps going to where there's counters, there's pin attempts, and so on and so forth. There's no win after round 2. There's no win after round 3. It keeps going. And then after round 4, Noam Dar finally gets a win. But then as it keeps going, a vignette gets aired before the Heritage Cup match happened. I almost forgot to mention that it was a beach and an ocean with a message, "See you soon on the in the sand," which can only mean one person is gonna make a comeback. So Ruka. She was the only one that was there as like a surfer character kind of thing over there. So that would be the only person that I would think would be coming back for it.
Yeah, it seems like people agree with you. Timestamp this though, in case you're wrong. So I can sit here and say, haha, she was wrong, since you like to brag.
Y'all realize this is a heel versus heel match. Yeah, it happens every now and then. Sometimes we get heel versus heel, we get babyface versus babyface. You just cheer for who you dislike the least. Which in my case, I prefer Charlie Dempsey over Noam Dar any damn day of the week.
I will only cheer Charlie Dempsey over Cody Rhodes.
And the match went on, but at the end of it, 2 rounds is won by the new NXT Heritage Cup champion in Charlie Dempsey of the No Quarter Catch crew. Now, what were you saying about Noam Dar keeping the cup stuff? The cup was going to get taken off him at some point. Who? I didn't know. I didn't expect it to be Charlie Dempsey. I'm not going to say I'm the happiest girl in the world for it.
You shouldn't.
But I would like to see what they're going to do with Noam Dar now that he lost that thing. As long as they don't make him act like a bum again, being all depressed that he lost the cup and such, or that he gets all delusional and the metaphor give him a fake cup to try to make him feel better again.
Well, they need to, because he was screwed, and I don't appreciate it because he was a great champion. Instead, I got this boring Charlie Dempsey. He's boring. You do know he's boring.
I never said he wasn't boring.
Okay, as long as we agree. You're right sometimes.
I mean, 3/4 of the No Quarter Catch crew bore me, so.
But it's metaphor. They're the most entertaining actors in NXT.
I said the No Quarter Catch crew bore me, not the metaphor.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but the metaphor. So I want you to talk about how negative you don't like the No Quarter Catch crew, but metaphor is where it's at.
The only thing that I wish is that now that Noam Dar is no longer champion, that Ora Mensa stops being the punching bag of the metaphor every time they have a match now. Because every time, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and every time they've had matches, Ora Mensa is either the one that's always getting pinned or he's always getting tapped out or that he's always losing. I'm sick of it. Like, why have him be the punching bag? Why? He's a talented man.
He's
talented. I'll say it again. Halloween Havoc for the North American Championship showed everybody how talented that man is.
He's doing more now by taking L's.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we had that match happen. Tony D comes out at some point. He says, you don't got to be the NXT champion or him to get things moving around here. Because him, Dragunov, Ava, Carmelo Hayes are in the ring with the contract. Ilya says that he now knows who Melo is. Someone who's going to get rid of anybody simply for a shot at the title. Melo says he's just a lot colder about how he does things, which, based on what we saw at the last NXT pay-per-view, is exactly what happened.
I've seen it.
Melo revels in his words. Tony B does come out. He says that he needs to be in the conversation. They're talking about big business, like I mentioned a couple seconds ago, that he doesn't need to be, that Melo is over there demanding a match for the title, that he will earn a title shot and Stand and Deliver, being Tony D. Ilya says he can respect that, and that D'Angelo says that if that Eve agrees, Roadblock will be a match with D'Angelo and Melo, and that the winner will get Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. And she says that's up to the champion. And he says that he'd like to see Carmelo Hayes earn something for once. So he agrees to face the winner of the match next week. Melo then pleads with Ava, saying that she's going to let this happen. Dragunov says that he wants D'Angelo to whoop that Melo next week, which doesn't have the same ring as whoop that trick. Melo mouths off some more. Tony D gets up, and the two get up in each other's face, just start pushing at each other. Tony D gets pushed into Ilya and put through a table by Melo. Melo then signs the contract, and the Melo's security all takes off, shocking Carmelo, like, oh my God, the people I paid to be my bodyguards, even though half of them got beat up earlier in the night, all ran away. Like, what'd you expect? Half of your dudes got beaten up. They were going to leave at some point because they're trying to be smart and not get the rest of them beaten up. Dragunov says, I was about to say Dragunov likes Trick. Melo cuts him off. Tony D says he wants to take that title from Ilya, not from Melo. So we're going to see what happens for the future.
I know one thing. It will not be your NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov. It can't be.
What can't be? Ilya retaining or
him still being champion? He needs to lose. He needs to lose to Melo.
Well, we'll just see what happens as time goes on and we get our matches for Roadblock and for the future of Stand and Deliver.
Correct.
So that is NXT tonight. It was an interesting show. It wasn't the worst NXT I've ever seen. I'm not going to say it was the greatest NXT episode I've ever seen, but it was more on the entertaining side tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. I mean, it gets a thumbs up for me. That's what we do on the Raw show. You all give points. We give thumbs. You know?
Yeah.
I was wondering if Tony D was going to go with this. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. Cool.
So, like I said, that's our show. We'll go plug in everything else. So tomorrow, just like every Wednesday or every other Wednesday, whenever they can, because I don't know how it works for them. Maybe sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. We have our AEW review with Dan the Man. We got Vic on there sometimes, and we sometimes have Dice. We sometimes have Ron. We sometimes have Sheriff, whoever is available to help out to pop up and make an appearance. On Saturdays, we do have the SmackDown team reviewing SmackDown with Dice Man. We got our regular old Vic there as well. Anybody else that's available to help out does pop up and make an appearance. And then we have reviews for movies and TV shows and such on our sister channel for the Unpopular Review Entertainment side. They reviewed The Sitter about a couple hours ago, so give that a watch.
Sitter and Battle for Los Angeles. This Thursday is The Crazies, which is ironic because she just talked about The Crazies.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I did that, but now I do. So we have that. On Mondays at 6, we have the Mike Knox show where for the intelligent wrestling fan, for all things happening in the world of the wrestling industry, whether it be WWE, AEW, TNA, anywhere that we get our information from, we will talk about it. And besides that, we have our little things on the side that we do as well. I have my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go throughout Central Florida, occasionally South Florida, and I post up matches from the shows that I go to. Didn't have any shows the past couple weekends, but I will be going to some soon, so be on the lookout for that. And you can also catch this one who does do some ring announcing at a company here in Central Florida. So you'll see the executive consultant do some work there. And he does do work at another company as well. So you can always look that up and give that a watch as well.
I think you'd be pleasantly surprised.
It is always pleasantly surprising, I will say that. And then Ron's not here tonight, but I will plug it the Big Pop Theory podcast with himself and Captain Shay Sawyer, where they discuss all things wrestling as well, from Raw, NXT, SmackDown, AEW, anything with pay-per-views. That's anything and everything. So be on the lookout for everything. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Press the notification button, which is the bell, and press all so that way you don't miss any episode of anything that we put out on
Good
here
advice.
or on the sister channel.
Very good advice. Any of these channels, Unpopular Review Wrestling, Unpopular Review Entertainment, she talked about Unofficial Camera Woman, Big Pop Theory Podcast. We have so much going on. You're bound to like everything.
Like Jeffrey says, we have everything for everyone. We don't just talk about wrestling. We got to expand for everybody. So we got to show love for
bring a Family Feud back.
Oh, that'll be fun. Anything else you'd like to say before we wish the audience a good night and good evening?
No, ma'am. Thanks for having me.
It was nice to see you and have you on the show.
It's always nice seeing you. Look at this.
And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, the outro, where we check to see if the music's on, because that's everybody's favorite part when Ron does it.
I'll give you a hint. When it says background music, you see the volume thing, you turn it all the way down. You play the one that says outro. You start talking, and then you slide it up very gently. And then it feels more flush. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching us. We'll see you next time here on Unpopular Review.